Well, since an injury, so apologies for the microphone quality. I'll try to remedy this in editing. This is chapter 2 of Kind of Blue by JT Kamp. A lot of stuff has happened, but I guess it kept you waiting. Huh. Today's drink, I have a tall boy Nos. I bet that sounded one effective. We're gonna start right off. Chapter 2, Aubrey. All for today's smooth as silk traffic report. Anyways, it's gonna be another hot one out there. So be sure to throw an extra ice pack in your lunch, pals. Well, fellas, 6 a.m. And that means it's time for the living legend, Miles Curtis, and the Smoke Hot Signal. So what? Dulcet tones at the piano, and bass intro to one of my favorite songs washes away my slumber. Without realizing it, tail things twitching any time to beat. Smiles spreads across my snap. I lift my head from the pillow, but bringing a hand up to my cheek, feel the wet remnants of tears. God damn it. I had that dream again. Doesn't happen every day. When it does, there's always water bursts. Pull yourself together. It was just a dream. I'm not going to ruminate on this. I'm down. I threw my legs over the side of the mattress, singing suddenly a sultry saxophone toward trumpets and my clock radio. Miles Curtis, one artist. I've heard he's in town, too. Love to see him play in person. Tapped my foot in rhythm. It was pitch perfect trumpeting. Feeling a flutter in my stomach with each rise and fall of the notes. Humans really know how to work magic with their instruments. Try to pull myself to my feet, but my right knee locks up and buckles under my butt, bringing my ass back down to the edge of the bed. Fuck the thing. Start extending and retracting my leg to work the kink out of the muscle. I've been keeping up with my exercise every night, so why the hell is this thing so giving me grief? Am I doing something wrong, or is my doctor just an idiot? After a minute of repeating the motion, I make a second attempt to stand up. This time, my knee cooperates and doesn't give out underneath me. I don't let the annoyance get to me, choosing to focus on the music again and take care of my morning rituals. A one-bedroom apartment isn't anything to take pride in, but it's the job done. I go with a cheaper one and save a bit more money, but I'm too hard up for cash these days. But I'm not too hard up for cash these days. Certainly think I could be making more, though, and doing well. I turn on the shower, giving it a few minutes to warm up. It's definitely another hot day today, but my air conditioner's doing the Lord's work. Granted, I never minded the heat all that much, but a lot of my coworkers have been complaining, especially the fellows out running the beat. I tuck my hair into a shower cap before stepping into the porcelain basin, being sure to leave my tail hanging out outside the curtain. I wash my hair and tail every few days. Today isn't one of those days. I'm happy to have the extra 20 minutes to myself on mornings when I don't have to deal with cleaning and drying all the hair and feathers. Sufficiently cleansed, I cautiously climb out of the shower, taking care not to set off my trick knee again. It must be the heat that's getting to it. Just be careful with my movements today. I'll be good as new tomorrow. My usual morning evaluation in the mirror goes the same as it always does. I frowned and observed the two scrawny legs that the nearly visible ribcage and pathetic A-cup breasts that make the sorry excuse of a woman looking back at me. Not that I'm in the market for man after everything that was nearly 8 months ago. Why can't I can't keep living in that shadow. I can't. My arms involuntarily wrap around my stomach, and I nearly double over as the emotions try to claw their way back to the surface again. Fight it. You're already over this. It's in the past, and you're stronger than that. You have to be stronger. My ears register the sound still resonating from my radio. It takes a moment for the music to become recognizable past the rapid beating of my heart, my labored breathing. Charlie Lakers, Blues for Alice, 2001 M, 1951 BC. one of the finest examples of bird blues around, by the late Yardbird himself. I have the track on vinyl and I put it on time from time to time. It's not my favorite Laker standard, but it's a damn good one. The sound of his sax pushes the dreadful feeling in my gut back below the surface, calming me down enough to release my grip on my body, continue my morning prep, a more relaxed state of mind. Gently bobbing my head along with the beat, I finish up my daily beautification, if you can call it that. I don't spend very long on makeup. The guys at the station give me shit for it, but I don't care. I'm there to do a job, not turn heads. I make my way over to the small bedside closet and draw a blue work dress. Nothing fancy, practical, comfortable, and professional, just the way I want it to be. So I finish getting dressed and give myself one more review in the mirror. I glance around my apartment. Besides the music, there's no other sound here. It's a bit lonely, to be honest. Maybe I should get a pet. What would I get? I sure as hell don't want to be a cat lady. 24 is way too early to give up and turn into an old maid. Of course, ain't that what I'm on the way to doing? No, shut up. You're fine. Just get through the week, like you always do. Hell, it's Monday. I can't make my usual requests. I've been putting up excellent numbers. You can't keep stonewalling me forever. Shutting off the radio, I give the apartment one last visual sweep before heading out, being sure to lock the door behind myself. It's not a rough neighborhood. I've got quite a record collection I'd be really pissed to lose. At least on the second story, so some asshole kids jimmy open the window and crawling in ain't an option. I still rest easier knowing my place is locked up. Maybe a dog then. Be a burglar deterrent, at least. I'd have to train the little fur ball. Might be nice to have a friend. Even one that can't communicate with anything beyond wagging a tail and an occasional bark. I think about it more later. The summer heat rolls over me in a thick wave the moment I push open the front door of the apartment building. Climate control is both a blessing and a curse. You love it when you're instructed by it. You desperately miss it when you're not. It's not too long of a walk from the bus stop. And fuck, bus stop. I take my mornings pretty well. I don't spend very long waiting, but it's so long that the line is running on time. Thankfully, it is the case today, and the green and white chariot pulls up only a minute later. The ride is around 10 minutes, give or take, based on stops we make. Come to recognize most of the other passengers on the morning route, but I haven't gotten to know any names. I don't enjoy talking to strangers much, being content to just spend the ride on my own head listening to my internal record player. On the platter now is another Miles Critis standard, Milestones. It's upbeat and rhythmic flow, perfectly matching the hustle and bustle of Old York morning commute. My fingers tap on my knee in tandem with the horn and sax as they spar with one another. Not quite dueling, but not quite relinquishing authority over the song either. I've listened to the track so many times that it plays perfectly in my internal ear. After a moment, I realized my eyes are closed, got carried away by the melody. Not that I distrust anyone on the bus, but it's not wise to be completely unaware of your surroundings whenever you're in a city like this. As I again focus on the cramped world around me, I spot a human gentleman seated across from me. He's one I've seen frequently, though it's not quite every day. Most days he's on the same line with me in the morning. A real fidgety individual, it seems. Seems like he can never get comfortable, always wringing his hands or trying to keep his restless leg from bouncing too furiously. His thick bottle cap lens glasses magnify his nervous eyes. I can't exactly blame the fella. He's a scrawny little guy, and the bus has a fair number of dinosaurs on it. I heard a few dinos mutter slurs his way under their breath over the weeks. Personally, I'm not keen on the idea of viewing humans as a subvariant species. Things were different a lot of years ago. Humans are people, just like we are, capable of just as great things. Jazz wouldn't be what it is without the contribution of humans. After all, hell, it's probably wouldn't exist today. If you didn't realize, um, humans are the equivalent of black people in this. I just wanted to say that. George Bush doesn't care about black people. Today, though, something's off about him. He seems more nervous than usual. What would normally just be mousy behavior comes off as downright petrified and keeps shooting glances all around the bus, seeming to anticipate an attack at any moment. Sweat is pouring from underneath his pinstripe cap. More than just the heat would be responsible for that. His arms are wrapped tightly around a briefcase. I'm not used to seeing him carry. I wonder what's got him so flustered. His eyes meet mine and linger for a moment before he offers a meek smile and turns his gaze downward. It doesn't rest on the bus floor for long, however, as he resumes his search for whatever assailant he fears. I just shrug and fuck. I just shrug and go back to my internal music. None of my business. A few minutes later, we arrive at my stop. I give the Coke bottled human one more glance before I depart. He wipes a tremendous amount of sweat from his brow with a handkerchief and seems to mutter something under his breath. Taking full note of everything, of everyone who gets on the bus. I might not know the guy beyond recognizing from this morning's commute, but I certainly hope he gets through whatever got him so terrified. Stepping down from the tall stairs that erect me to the sidewalk, I gaze up at the structure before me. It's an impressive architecture, is only partly responsible for the respect it commands over Bracklin Avenue and the nearly 9 square miles of its jurisdiction. And the letters emblazoned around our state crest makes up for the rest of the grandeur. Old York City Police Department, 63rd Precinct. My little home away from home. A place of business and a place where I can do so much more. I know for a fact I could be more good to Brackenland on the streets than behind the desk pushing paperwork every day. There's only one person who stands between me and that dream. His office is my first stop, just as it is every Monday morning. Push up the massive wooden doors atop the stone steps leading up to the building's face. The spacious lobby holds a reception desk and an oak staircase leading to its second floor. All the trappings of a police station you'd imagine from a Wild West movie are hidden from sight. The various holding cells, concealed in the station's sublevels. Here, it's calming decor, wood trim paneling, and pleasant atmosphere that greets those who are the building's primary entrance. I've got my destination set. I make it right. I make a right down a short hall and locate the most official-looking office in the building. As I gently swing open its door, the burly brown potato seated behind the intimidatingly sized desk does not lift his gaze from the paperwork spread out before him. No, excuse me. Without making eye contact with me, he mutters, "Yes, Carter. What is it?" I stand up straight and look towards him, with as much confidence as I can muster, my tail twitching due to nervousness. I always feel when I ask the same question. "Captain Aaron, I'd like to request entry to the police academy." He lets out a sigh and raises his eyes to meet mine. His two leathery wings seem to be sagging in annoyance. "We've been over this 100 times." Pause for a moment before speaking. "Let this be 101, sir." Shakes his head. "No, Carter." Answers still. "But, sir," abruptly cuts me off. His voice is stern and holds absolute authority. "You are a clerk, and a damn good one, at that. I know how much you want to move up, but it's just not possible. Don't give up that easily." "Sir, just last year they started allowing women to—" "I know what they started doing. Some other precincts already have lady officers, and that's fine by me. I'm sure we'll have some here, too, eventually, but you won't be one of them." Foolishly asked the question, but I already know the answer. He's going to give it to me. Why not? His eyes flick down to my right knee and then back up to me. His expression is both weary and sympathetic. Don't know how many times I need to tell you this. You're a good clerk. You may have even been a good policewoman. With that knee, you even make it a week to the academy. I have to bite my lip to keep tears from forming in my eyes. It's getting better, sir. Doing exercises. He shakes his head again, string right through my lie. A beat cop who can't keep with the culprits can't serve our city. I have a chance in some backwater town, the worst crime being committed, chicken theft, disorderly conduct. Out here, I need people who are at their very best. Places his hands on his hips, looks down and sharpened beak with regret. I'm sorry, Aubrey. He doesn't use my first name often. When he does, it sings like hell. One of the only other times he has done it was shortly after my accident. He visited me in the hospital, even brought me flowers. It's a kind gesture of him, considering I was the one, only working at the precinct for about a month at the time. I was practically catatonic, conscious and aware, but unable to speak or acknowledge those around me. When he sat next to me and put a hand on my shoulder, he used my first name. Terribly sorry this happened to you, Aubrey. Truly sorry. I can't even imagine. I quickly lower my head, pushing the thoughts of that experience as far down as they will go. I muster the words, but my voice cracks as I speak. Thank you, sir. I rarely see the captain's remorseful look past my clouded vision. I manage to make it out of the office a few steps down the hall before the tears start falling. Fucking not now, not in the office. I dart into the nearby woman's bathroom. It's empty. Not a surprise given there's only a few other women who work in the building, all of whom perform clerical duties like I do. I snatch several paper towels from the dispenser and dry the tears from my face, taking care to not ruin the small bit of makeup I applied. I don't cry when the captain tells me no. It's a weekly occurrence, only causing me to steel my resolve and work even harder towards next week. Today I blame the dream I had, dredging up old memories. Terrible memories. I have to be stronger than my past. Composing myself with one final look over in the mirror. Hanging over the sink, I exit the bathroom and make my way up to the second floor. As I head towards my desk, I spot a couple of large white boxes on a nearby table. Stereotypical, given the locale, but screw it. I didn't have breakfast today. I had to go for a little pick-me-up. I throw open the box, scrawled with uppercase E, and withdraw tasty looking donut. Herbivores don't exactly agree with eggs, so the other box contains donuts prepared without. Being carnivore, much prefer the taste of those made with unborn chicken. I munch on the sweet fried round, already feeling my woes dissolve in its sugary bliss, and I makes my way towards the desk adorned with my name placard. The small stack of paperwork already waits for me, and pile won't stop growing throughout the course of the day. My duties My duties involve processing these tedious forms, tickets for minor violations mostly, checking them for accuracy, making sure the cop who filled it out in the first place did what he needed to do, and stuffing envelopes with reminders of varying severity for tickets that have gone unpaid. All in a day's work for a woman who is apparently not fit to do anything but this menial and repetitive task. Thankfully, they let me keep a small radio by my desk so long as I don't have the volume cranked so loud enough to bother anyone else. I want to listen to whatever I want. Dial never moves from the local jazz station. Music helps me get through the day, transforming tedious busy work into melodic therapy. Regardless how sloppy the forums I passed are, I never frustrated when I got my friends on the other side of the radio, keeping me company. Over there's the breakery. This is the most the paper pushing gets done. Speaking of, voice of the officer Duffy, seasoned cop who's worked in his precinct over 10 years. His slicked back hair makes way for the two pronounced ridges on the top of the Demophorosis's head. He gestures in my direction. This here's Aubrey. She'll handle processing your ticket and citation paperwork as you bring it to her. Dinosaur he speaks to is a young guy I don't recognize. Must be his first day at the precinct. It's not his first day as a cop. Feel twinges of jealousy as he glances at me, quickly coming up with a reply to Duffy's introduction. Aubrey Carter. I'll process your paperwork, bring it to be filled out proper like. I ain't gonna do your job for you. I extend a hand to the rookie Spinosaurus with massive ridge extensions of vertebrae that form his namesake's spine. The tailor must have had a hell of a go with his uniform to accommodate that particular protrusion. He snaps my hand to shake, offering a sideways smile. Officer Preston, he holds my grip for a moment, glancing down at the nameplate on desk. Aubrey, huh? Ain't that a fellow's name? I withdraw my hand from his. It isn't. No, not exclusively, at least. His grin widens, exposing sharp teeth, his elongated snout. I don't like the sense I got from this guy. But all the Aubreys I met, but fellas, scans me up and down. With all I recoil from him, his sneer turns downright menacing in response. You one of them bold dykes, or what? There will be slurs. I think this is the only, actual applicable slur, but I don't think anybody actually gets offended at this. My mouth falls open in shock, but before I can reply, Duffy claps his back of his hand across Preston's chest. Enough of that, you numbskull. Aubrey's a fine worker. Don't give her shit on your first day. Come on, share the garage next. Duffy responds. Fuck. Duffy starts slowly pressing away as the Spinosaur's eyes linger on me a moment longer to gauge my reaction. Seems happy with the one he got. Another chuckle follows tour guide down the stairs. I slump back in my chair. Are you kidding me? Bull Dyke? The fucking nerve of that sleazeball. Duffy didn't even correct him. Granted, me and Duffy aren't best buds, but he knows I ain't a lesbian. I was married, for Christ's sake. My heart beats. My heartbeat begins to accelerate, and the pain in my stomach makes itself apparent once more. Phantoms rattle their chains inside my mind and body yet again, nearly keel over from the wave of despair that lashes out at me. The sound of horns playing in perfect rhythm with one another, backed by a gentle piano, smooth bass line and light drums and cymbals tap, break me free from the dreadful memories and trying once more to worm their way into my forward. Doxy saw me Roland 2001 M 1954 VC. Originally recorded with Miles Kratos, sometimes mistakenly credited for Kratos for composing it, but it's a raw line track all the way. I have two versions of it on vinyl, and both sing the sweet songs of what possibly when two of the greatest jazz minds put their skills to work on the same track. I slowly straighten up, remaining conscious of my breathing as I go. It was a close call, but I'm good now. I can't keep having these fits, though. This just won't do if I'm trying to prove to the captain that I'm ready to move up. He thinks my knee is the problem. But it frees up every time my pass knocks on my door. I'm really going to be useless. I keep my head down and make it through. Fuck. I get through the rest of the workday. And music keeps my mind off things. A lot of fellows around the station think I'm antisocial. Few tried being friendly, one even eases me out. I don't really try to be closed off. I just find myself not interested in their conversations. Not interested in opening up to them. Nobody ever complains. My, Nobody ever compliments my music. Either they just make some snide remark about it or tell me to turn off that racket. Usual shit. Just another day blending into another day. Cycle I'll keep going until I pull myself out of it with effort. I'll prove my worth. I'll get that knee fixed up. I'll achieve what I know I can achieve. As the hands of the clock nearly complete their journey toward punch-out time, familiar burly pterodactyl man wanders over to my desk. I glance up from the last bit of paperwork I'm processing to meet Captain Aaron's focus. He looks down at me with a stern gaze. He's a tough man to get an emotional read on, but I can't help but sense a twinge of sympathy in his eyes. He opens his mouth to say something, stops, cuts for a moment, and plops two slender pieces of cardstock on the desk between us. Fellows dropped these off at our station. Not sure why. This nightclub is in our jurisdiction. Might have been just trying to curry some favor with the OYPD. All around town. I don't know. I'm gonna toss them, but glance at the radio next to me, quietly emanating one of the last songs it'll sing before I shut it off for the day and head home. Well, the only one in the office with a taste for this sort of music. I figured, why let him go to waste? I cocked my head at the captain before looking down at the items he placed on my desk. As the words printed on the items, a slender slips registered in my mind, my eyes widen and my breathing hitches in my throat. Birdland Nightclub presents Miles Credis, Tuesday, August 25th, 2001, M 1959 BC. 8 p.m. Admit 1. My gaze shoots back up to the pterodactyl. Holy sh! I cut myself off, seeing his eyes narrow. He's a pretty staunch Catholic guy and doesn't abide cursing in his presence. Feel my cheeks redden as I try to cover. Sir, are you sure I can have these? He shrugs. It's this or the trash for him. Yours if you like. His teeth barely make themselves visible as the edges of his beak lift. Have a good evening, Carter. I can't stop the smile that tugs my lips. You too, sir. As he takes his leave, I pick up the tickets with shaky hands. Holy shit. Holy shit. I can't believe it. These things are like platinum. Those shows have been sold out for months before they even started. And I'm holding two tickets in my hand. Two tickets. I feel a twinge of regret, knowing I've got nobody to invite. Family's all out of state, and I really don't have any close friends to speak of. They get along with okay with a few of my neighbors, where nobody would understand an opportunity like this. Sure, I might get someone to agree to come, but they'd probably be bored with the whole time. I'd be too disrespectful to Miles' credits to bring someone who won't appreciate his craft the way it needs to be appreciated. No, I'll go by myself. Take one and two tickets, motion towards the trash can next to my desk. I can't do it. I can't throw something like this out. All right, I'll keep it. Maybe on the way to the club, there'll be some poor soul at the door begging to be let in, and I can make their night. That'd be a lark. But one thing is for certain, I'm going. I wouldn't pass up an opportunity like this for the world. With renewed vigor, I gather my things and clock out for the day. The music follows me, even after I shut off the radio. And the venerable cacophony of exuberant instruments blaring in my head is my own excitement for tomorrow's plasters a stupid smile on my face. In a brief moment of clarity, as I exit the station and remember I need to stop at the grocery store, ran out of some necessities, and the gal's gotta eat. I don't even try to keep my tail in check, so I stroll down the sidewalk towards Sal's Butcher and Grocery. Swings back and forth, coming close to clipping other folks traveling the other direction. It's a metronome, my own delight, keeping rhythm with Miles' greatest performance for only me. By the way, JT Kamp, um, on Discord, he does writers' workshops. He's criticized about having characters, uh, the first thing they do is wake up out of bed and do something when so far the first two chapters, and I'm if I remember correctly, the next chapter do this same thing. I'm looking at you, Starman. I don't know if you'll watch this video. I have no clue how the audio sounds now. I changed it up a bit, but I just wanted to say that, and I'm even guilty of it because I've done it. The grocery store is packed as usual. Mothers and wives fairly fill their baskets, trolleys with the finest groceries around. A slew of herbivores seem to be battling over the best quality vegetables on display. The employees wrangle the store as the best they can, filling empty slots in the shelves and checking out increasingly irate customers as quickly as possible. I even spot a man or two, lost and confused in the chaos that's quite possibly the best grocery store in the city. I deftly dodge a pair of peckies of walruses who are practically colliding their hardened heads against one another as they argue over ownership of your juicy head of lettuce. One of the advantages of being a carnivore in the world is that some sections of the grocery store are less traveled and less brutal. I step up to the butcher's counter and order a pound of ground beef. I think a hamburger sounds fine for dinner tonight. Rounding out my short trip, I pick out a package of buns, shiny tomato, and a head of lettuce. Opening, I select from the less contentious portion of the display. Lettuce is lettuce. I'm not about to get in a fistfight over produce like some of these ladies. I bring my small selection of goods to the checkout line. A few minutes later, a couple dollars and then a purse later, I'm on my way home. Slipping back into the slightly cooler but still hot early evening air, I can focus on my internal jazz again. Radio inside the grocery store was playing some crappy pop music, flavored tunes of the placid masses. You don't have to think too hard when you hear the same boring four-chord structure over and over. I much prefer the complexity and bravery of jazz. They experiment, they have fun. Not everything works, but when it does, it's truly remarkable. The bus stop is only a minute away from the trend's storefront. My timing is less on point in the evening, so sometimes I have to wait a little while for a bus. Still beats hoofing it to 3 miles away I live, especially on days when my knee is being a little prick. Felt pretty good since this morning, but my rejection by Captain Aaron keeps it the forefront of my mind. I got to do something about it. Maybe ice it in the evenings, or try some different exercises. Need to fix this so I can go into the academy. I know it's a silly pipe dream, but I haven't wanted anything more than to be a police officer since I was a little girl. I was laughed at in the schoolyard, being told that girls can't be cops. But now that times are changing, my dream might be attainable. If I could just get past this stupid handicap. I take a seat on the bus stop bench, setting the paper bag of groceries at my side. Nobody else is waiting for a ride. If somebody does show up, I can move back to give them a spot to sit. For now, it's me, summer air. Remember the tickets in my purse and smile again. Smiles starts playing his horn for me. So what? One of his newest songs, and an absolute beautiful composition. And it woke me up this morning. Now finds its way into my mind. Can't help but close my eyes, relax the calm moment, and softly hum with his genius. Excuse me, miss? My eyelids fly up as I turn to focus on the source of the sudden, interrupting voice. A few feet away, a human stares at me, his cheeks instantly brightening as he holds up his hands in apologetic gesture. Uh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I push some of the hair away from his eyes. He pushes the hair away from his eyes. I keep it short. Fuck. I push some of the hair away from my eyes. I keep it short, but I still like to intrude. Still like to intrude from time to time, especially when I spin my head like I just did, see who was addressing me. That was pretty normal looking for a human. Tan skin, brown hair that's a little longer than average, but nowhere near long enough to make me question his gender. And dirty work clothes. Must be getting off his shift as well, still doesn't come up. Well, whatever it is, he builds up a layer of grime like that. Still, he doesn't come across as suave as he politely stands before me and waits my response. I realize I'm still pretty tensed up from being startled. I loosen my shoulders and feel my tail feathers unbristle themselves. It's fine. I was on my own head for a second. What do you need? He brings his hands to the back of his head and scratches, glancing away nervously. His bright cheeks light up even further. I was just walking by and, his eyes meet mine, and it seems to steal his resolve. Were you humming So What by Miles Cross? What the? How did he know? Was really humming that loudly. Well, Miles Cross is popular music, is a jazz musician, but I don't know that I've ever met anyone who recognizes his work that quickly, especially, by the way, my butchered humming. I love the sound of jazz, but in fact, I don't rep- replicate it well with my voice. What's with this guy? All the same, I can't help but feel small tug at the sides of my mouth and offer him a reply. Well, yes, I was. His posture immediately loosens as he returns to my smile. I thought so. Sorry for that annoying interruption, but I was humming it too as I was walking by. My eyebrow was in his direction. Is that so? Fan of his work, are you? Nods his head and takes a step closer. I don't register the gesture as being threatening or flirtatious. In fact, I don't even know this guy's name, so I feel relaxed around him. He speaks through a wide smile. Yes, ma'am. I love his music. Real genius on the whole. Total revolutionary. Try to rotate a bit more in the direction of my crossed legs, remaining so I can return a bit of his enthusiasm. You could say that again. His new record is breathtaking. Let's out a chuckle. Well, I mostly hear him on the radio. No shortage of stuff on the local jazz station, though. Can't help but release a soft hum between his reddened cheeks and his awkward manner. He's kinda, what the hell's getting into me? I try to wrap up the conversation politely. The bus should be here any minute. Pleasure to meet a fellow jazz enthusiast. My heart intrudes on my eyes again. I brush it away and attempt to give a courteous smile and nod, hoping the gesture will illustrate to this fellow that our social transaction is concluded. But I can't manage to find my expression. My eyes linger on him for a moment longer than I intend to. Cheeks are absolutely burning red. Doesn't come across me as a shy sort, but maybe he doesn't interact with dinosaurs most gracefully. Of course, it's hard for humans to interact with us when there's still so much pressure to navigate, but something about him is different. Who is this guy that has randomly stopped and questioned me on my humming? He's able to pick up Miles Curtis' tune from tone deaf rendition. Must be a jazz fan with a keen ear to be capable of such a feat. His eyes remain locked to mine, their gentle blue offering a reflection of my own. Human eyes are smaller and round. Around black people wear dinosaur diamond-shaped pupils that are often similarly colored to our irises. Many dinosaurs find human eyes to be boring and lifeless, not communicating as though it's the eyes of our own species. But I don't agree with that sentiment. Instead, I find myself examining this man's eyes closely. They seem a kind-looking human who likes jazz. My mind wanders to this rare ticket in my purse holds. Would it be too brazen to ask him to join me? It seemed like I was asking him on a date, wouldn't it? Or I don't want to. Or do I? I open my mouth with pride, but the words are cut off before they move formed by a loud, echoing pop. Shove it forward by a second, and three more in rapid succession. Bang! 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 Gunshots. They're not far away. My head whips around to the nearby alley. Shots are only a block away, maybe less. And a direct route to the scene. The man was just smiling, blushing at me, and one was jolted by the sound, flinching before spinning in the same direction. Holy fucking shit. Those gunshots? On my feet, cop or not, I'm not standing by if somebody got shot. My tail knocks the paper bags to the ground as I take off, scattering groceries across the rectory. Take a second look at them as I don't take a second look at them as I tear down the alleyway into the direction of the sound. Footsteps behind me. Simmons following me, running a few feet behind me. Why? Are you fucking crazy, lady? Usually go into the opposite direction of gunshots. There's no time to explain everything to him, so I lie. Said, I'm a cop. Oh shit, really? Well, let's go to the bastards. Bloody giving his blessing, he storms after me. I glance over my shoulder in irritation. This is dangerous. You shouldn't be. Suddenly stops as we round the alley corner, his eyes widening immediately as he looks past me. I follow suit, spinning to see what he sees. Propped up against the brick exterior of the building, forming the edge of the alleyway, a man struggles to breathe as he claws at several perforations in his chest and stomach. A slight vertical trail of blood on the wall behind him denotes where he slid down from his seated to a seated position. The gurgling from his throat indicates how much time he has left if he doesn't get help. My eyes launch upward and away from the wounded human to the new perspective of the rounded corner offering only the faintest glimpse of someone fleeing. The tip of a tail is all I see, attached to a dinosaur that sprints around the corner, adjacent alley across the street. The shooter. My feet launch in the direction of the fleeing form as I shout over my shoulder. Get him help. Going after the suspect. No response. There's no time to check on the jazz enthusiast who followed to the scene. Cried. Got more pressing matters to attend, namely, proving my worth and catching the culprit who just attempted murder. I charged across the street, hearing the screeching brakes and blaring horn of a delivery truck as I make the dangerous maneuver. No time to apologize. I get across the street into the escape alley. I'm close if I can skid around the corner and can ID the suspect and crack. No. Fuck. No. Not now. My hands shoot up in front of me as I break the fall as best as I can. My knee seizes up, instantly halting my sprint and sending me hurtling to the paved ground in the alleyway. Several jagged pieces of gravel embed themselves in my palms and elbows. The searing ache and burgeoning blood revolts, causing me to grit my teeth. I didn't get around the corner, but if I can at least see, I start crawling on the elbows, pulling my worthless leg behind me. Intense pain fires from my right knee. Fucking piece of shit. I can't get this chance. I can't miss this chance. I can't. Just as I arrive at the corner, heaving myself as far forward as I can with one final lunge, telltale sound of screeching tires informs me that I'm too late. The escape to the getaway ride with was stationed a block away. Only had to outrun an enfeebled and crippled woman pretending to be a cop to get away with shooting a man in broad daylight. God damn it. God damn this fucking knee. God damn this worthless woman. I bring my fist down on the concrete below me, flecking blood from my palms across the ground with emotion. Tears fall. Only bitterness and hatred is on my mind now. The captain was right. I can't be a cop. Solely, place a hand on the brick wall next to me and try to swing my right leg around to unlock my knee. Motion is painful, both due to my bloody palm and the angle I have to wrench my leg into to bring it in from my seated posture. My dress is absolutely ruined, scraped and ripped beyond recognition between my tumble and subsequent army crawl. Bracing myself, I put my both hands on either side of the knee, pop the joint. pulling both trimming pain and relief in one motion. My leg can move properly again, but feels tremendously weak due to the strain. Using the wall for further leverage, I pull myself up to my feet, looking carefully to put a little weight on my right leg so I could manage. Thankfully, my tail helps to counterbalance my stance, so unless my knee seizes again, the odds of me taking another tumble are low. In embarrassment and dejection, I limp back to the scene of the crime, hearing the sound of approaching sirens. I arrive next to the man I left behind in the pursuit. He's as white as a ghost. I don't see any vomit in his shirt or on the ground. I worry that a stiff breeze might knock him over. He stares past the individual who shot towards a small indentation on the adjacent alley wall. Covers full of souls, garbage bags of unknown age, many of which are split open and trash strewn about, likely the doing of rats. I doubt the locale holds any significance. Jazz enthusiast seems to be staring into space. As I arrive at the side, I place a hand on his shoulder, but to get his attention to set him on balance on my knee. Continues to threaten me with immobilization. Barely reacts before I can say anything. His eyes rest on the victim, James Hig, limply at his sides. His neck no longer holds the weight of his head. I don't consider myself squeamish, but I still gasp at the revelation that the body no longer houses the soul. But as the characteristics of this man registered me, large, coke-bottled lenses dangle at the end of his nose, magnifying his now lifeless eyes just as much as they always did. Pinstripe cap lays on the ground next to the human, aiding in the collection of some blood that escaped into the concrete. His frozen expression of terror offers a conclusion to what had him so frightened this morning. I never even got to ask him his name. I turned back to the human standing next to him. His face is one of shock, and his eyes wide and his mouth frozen partially. Okay, I don't blame him. Seeing one of your own kind gunned down like this, I think it's a lot for him to take in. I'm sure. The sound of squealing tires and squad cars, doors being opened, thrown open, coming into what is about to happen. I get the man's attention by gently squeezing his shoulder. He turns my way, still not blinking and still managing to find his breathing as best he can. I offer a comfortable smile. Cops are here. They're gonna ask you a bunch of questions, but don't panic, all right? Just me a meek nod. His face still ghostly white. Though it's a tall order, the dead body only a few feet away from us, I do my best to lift the heavy air hanging over the alley. I'm Aubrey Carter. Never got your name, fellow jazz enthusiast. His color turns ever so slightly. Samuel. Samuel Lawson.